I need help. My daughter, she's gone. Missing, at least I hope. I guess a bit of backstory first. My name is Ryan. I have a 5.5-year-old daughter named Kayla. Her mother and I separated not too long after Kayla was born. See, she struggled a lot with postpartum depression. One day I came home from work and found her in the bathtub with the baby. She had slashed her own wrists and was, God, she wanted to go, and she wanted to take our daughter with her. Luckily, Kayla was okay, if a little scared. She still has problems with the bathtub. But before I get too off topic, my wife is not the one who took my little girl. She's being treated in a hospital down near Springfield, and in spite of everything, our divorce was mutual. She knows that she's a danger to herself and to Kayla, and she made the choice to leave. Since then, my daughter and I have been living in a small but nice apartment here in Chicago. So why am I posting here, honestly? Because nobody else will fucking believe me. I mean, I doubt anybody reading this will either. But if you are a parent, you know, you do anything for your kids, no matter how crazy. 2 weeks ago, it was Friday night. Kayla and I always get pizza on Friday nights, and I let her pick movie after movie until she falls asleep. Does it bother me that I have seen Frozen 2 more than any other grown man in the United States? No. It makes my daughter happy. Anyway, after a medium pepperoni pizza, Kayla had fallen asleep about halfway through Happy Feet. So I gently cleaned the pizza grease from her face with a wet wipe and carried her off to bed. I was pretty wrecked myself, in fact. I think I was asleep before my head hit the pillow. My sleep was rough, fitful. I wouldn't say I was having nightmares necessarily, but there was a sense of anxiousness that stung deep in my subconscious. Parents, you know what I mean. Like a sixth sense, a voice in the back of your mind nagging you. There's something wrong. It's too quiet. Check the child. As if to emphasize the feeling, I snapped awake to the sound of the door swinging closed. The shock of my sudden awakening left me sitting bolted upright in bed, breathing heavily, heart pounding like a Buddy Rich solo. I looked at the clock, but we must have lost power at some point because it just flashed 12 o'clock over and over. Cold sweat clung to my back as I listened to try and gain a sense of my surroundings. Two things stood out to me. The first was the soft, breathy cadence of my daughter's nighttime breathing was completely absent from the air. The second was from outside. I could hear, well, it sounded like an ice cream truck, you know? The jingle that played out of the speaker. I think it's called the Entertainer. Only it didn't sound right. It was rapped and skipped, like an old scratchy vinyl. The sound wasn't very loud. It was just barely audible above my own ragged breathing. I was about to dismiss it when I heard something else. A sound I heard hundreds, if not thousands of times before. A sound I've heard earlier that night, watching animated penguins dance on the screen. A sound that in the moment made my heart and adrenaline explode into overdrive. I heard my daughter's laughter, soft and distant, about as soft and distant as the discordant, broken rendition of the Entertainer. Before I even had time to process, I was on my feet and springing to the living room window, following the sounds as best I could, trying to pinpoint the origin. That's when I saw it. From 4 stories up, I watched in horror as my daughter, dressed in her pajamas and her pink coat, ran to a man standing in the middle of the street. The solitary streetlight casting awkward shadows and obscuring his features. He was tall, very tall, and from what I could tell, gaunt. He extended a hand towards Kayla, stretching out his arm to seemingly impossible lengths. There must have been 6 feet between the two, but the elastic limb covered the distance without any difficulty. I felt my heart sink when she took his hand. I wanted to scream, I wanted to race to her, but I just couldn't move. Something about the man, how the tiny piano music seemed to emanate from him, froze me in place, a helpless onlooker to my own personal hell. The man's tentacle-like arm shrunk back to normal size as Kayla's bare fell brought her right to him. The music seemed to grow louder, faster pace. It sounded fucking excited, eager. The man turned and began to lead my daughter out of the lone streetlight and down the road. I felt control return to my body. I had to act fast. There was no way I could make it down to the street in time. I had to warn Kayla, maybe someone else would hear and call the police. I ripped the window open and screamed my daughter's name until I was blue in the face. In an instant, I mean faster than a blink of the eye, the thing had snapped his head in my direction. My body froze again. I could see its features more clearly now. It had no eyes, just dark, empty sockets. Its mouth hung open wider than any human's. It looked like a python unhinging its jaw to devour its prey. The song grew louder. It rose to near deafening volume. It vibrated my fucking windows. It was coming from the creature's gaping maw. I am not ashamed to admit it, I pissed myself and fainted. I finally come to, the sun was high in the sky. It felt like it was all a dream, but I checked Kayla's bedroom, she was gone. Her coat was gone. That thing had taken my daughter. I went to the police as soon as I got into a pair of clean pants. I filed a report, but they didn't seem to believe a word I said. And when they asked me for a current photo, I was confused to find that I had none. I had taken Kayla to an amusement park a few months back for her birthday, and we took a series of pictures in the photo booth. My favorite one, where we were laughing, she was reaching up to pick my nose. I kept it in my wallet. All the photos saved in my cell phone were gone. I even went back home, and there was nothing. In our entire photo album, it was like she never existed. All just blank white squares. Now here we are. My daughter is gone. Nobody I've talked to, our neighbors, my parents, even my ex-wife, will even acknowledge Kayla's existence. The thing somehow erased her. I'm the only one who remembers her. I don't know what else to do. I've exhausted all rational options. So you people are experts. Tell me what I'm dealing with. Tell me how to get my daughter back. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. The links to the Facebook page, the Twitter, and the Instagram will be in the description below, as well as the source for today's video, and the source for the music, so go check those out. But yeah, please subscribe, and go make sure to check out the original story. The link will be in the description below, as I said. And yeah, go show some love to the writer. But yeah, subscribe if you enjoyed. Until next time in the Deadly Zone, stay deadly and stay spooky.